Hi there, I'm Petar and this is PetarSmiljana Qigong channel. Today I'm gonna talk about, as I said in a previous video, about embryonic breathing. In embryonic breathing you use reverse abdominal breathing but with a different mindset. Since mind is the one that leads Qi, mind is really important in this technique. If you want to try embryonic breathing, you should first go through the stages of different abdominal breathing techniques, grasp them, and then afterwards continue with this one. Here in this video, I will not give you a detailed explanation of how to learn embryonic breathing, but briefly it goes like this. First, you find a center of the upper dantian and the center of your lower dantian. Then you synchronize them. You can do that by having your mind on both points at the same time. These are the points that are actually one. These 2 points will stabilize the whole body and the manifesting yin-yang. Second stage in this embryonic breathing is when you start leading the Qi into a lower dantian. This process is called reunion of son and mother, where son is Shen and mother is Qi. We are now in the point where the life began, where life was conceived. This state is Wuji state. That's why this level of breathing is also called Wuji breathing. When we have reached this state, we know how to hold Qi in the lower dantian. Now it is time to store enough Qi and develop lower dantian to lead this Qi to the upper dantian, to open your third eye. When you are leading the energy down to your lower dantian, you energize your body. When you lead it up, you energize your Shen or your spirit. And again, Qigong is work on different levels, not just aerobics. If you want to generate enough energy to reach the level where you'll have enough energy to open third eye, you need to do Qigong. But 20 minutes a day won't be enough, seriously. And 8 pieces of brocade with the emphasis on the physical level really won't do the job. You need to go through all the phases of cultivation and regulate all 5 pillars: body, mind, breathing, Qi and Shen. Usually it takes many years of serious practice. Embryonic breathing on physical level. Let me just explain what is embryonic breathing on a physical level. When you were in the womb, you were helping your mother's body feed you through umbilical cord by pumping into your body nutrients and blood. You were reversely pumping. After you were born, this impulse was still present, only this time it was used for air intake or breathing. Very soon this reverse movement became normal abdominal breathing, and after some time it became chest breathing. Reversing the time. How you can reverse time and life not only with small or grand circulation, which will help you balance Kan and Li and Yin Yang, but also bring you into with your heaven and the real earth. And now I need to take you back. You will reverse a cycle of life and energy. Turn back the time clock and go to the beginning. There is a way to do that, and it is called path, and there is a Tao. Breath is the most important tool for that and the fundamental thing. All schools of ancient mystery taught that. But then again, if it was so simple to breathe, then you would breathe automatically and nobody would care about breathing. And there wouldn't be so many different methods of breathing recorded and tested. If those methods were not important and would not give you different results, they wouldn't exist. Saying that some breathing method is useless, it's like saying that I know everything and I don't need to learn anything anymore. But is that the case? My cup of tea would be full it would be overfilled. Temper is important. In the reverse and normal abdominal breathing, you have to have a gentle and soft focus on your lower dantian. You develop your physical skill of breathing slowly. This period of learning should be done with great patience, and none of the steps that I have mentioned in previous videos should be taken easily. When you master the basics, you can go on another level, deeper, and you will not understand it only rationally, which is merely ego, but deeply and organically as body wisdom. Oftentimes I heard fellows saying that they understand embryonic breathing, reverse and normal abdominal breathing. But then seriously, when I go deeper into a conversation with my friends, it becomes clear to me that they just read something, heard once or twice, then they tried it 2 or 3 times and have a completely vague idea of what I meant by those ways and methods of breathing. But then again, there are more than 1000 Qigongs known today, and new ones are being developed with background of many millennia of skills, culture, tradition, and wisdom. And then someone comes and says, "This is BS, I know all of this. You who share this are phonies. Why don't you sell this information if it is so useful?" Are you serious? Mind is leading the chi. When some time has passed and you have regulated your both dantians, you can broaden your field and you start to let the energy flow without controlling. In embryonic breathing, you are concentrating on your lower dantian, but beside that, you are also concentrating on your upper dantian or your third eye region. The center of the second one is in the center of your head, which you can find if you draw 2 lines. One line is in a height of tops of your ears, going from one side to another, like this. The other is going from yin tang point on your forehead to Dumai 18 or governing vessel 18 on the other side of your head. So yin tang and governing 8. The cross section that you get is the point in the middle of your head where the center of your upper dantian is located. If you do an or sound, you will find it more easily. Now, lower dantian is located between Renmai 6 or conception vessel 6 point, Mingmen point on your spine or Dumai 4, and Huyin point or Renmai 1 point. It's easier to find its center than the one of the upper dantian. For me, the center of the upper dantian is third ventricle, and since I have a profound training in craniosacral therapy, and this region in head is where it all begins, I know how to find it easily. But for you, it might be your acupoint yin tang, or even your whole forehead area, your pineal gland, pituitary gland. Again, your third ventricle, if you know how to find it, your frontal cortex, your hypothalamus, and so on. Or the whole brain and even head. It doesn't matter. Once you will reach this level, these exact physical parts won't matter anymore, since you will be discovering spiritual aspects of your nature. Your upper dantian might be felt at this point as a glowing ball expanding and contracting, or a big lotus flower opening and closing while you breathe. I know that some things at this point might seem like colorful imagination of a new ager, but things change. When you have been through a process of transmutation, your spirit, which resides in your upper dantian, is highly energized by your embryonic breathing and chi. How do we do it? Best way to practice embryonic breathing is in a sitting meditation. After you have gone through many months of practicing and prior steps in breathing, now it's time to focus on both dantians. You will connect both dantians by including central line of Chongmai extraordinary vessel, which will serve as a bridge and the channel for the energy stream. Now when you inhale, you have a focus on both dantians, and when you exhale, you just let the exhalation be. Don't focus, relax. And yes, you should also have a tip of a tongue on your palate, in your mouth. That's all for today. In the next post, I will talk about the connection between embryonic breathing and Bagua, or 8 primary energies. I hope this post will inspire you to do something new and different. May the Chi be with you. Bye.